Across diverse cultures and religions, the concept of a final reckoning, a decisive denouement to human history, has captivated and unsettled minds for millennia. This notion of an ultimate confrontation between the forces of good and evil, light and darkness, has been a recurring theme in the collective consciousness of humanity. This anticipation of an ultimate endpoint, often termed eschatology, frequently revolves around pivotal figures who embody either unparalleled destruction or divine salvation. These figures serve as harbingers of change, signaling the end of an era and the dawn of a new one, filled with either hope or despair. Within this tapestry of end-time narratives, the Dajjal, a figure steeped in Islamic tradition, emerges as a powerful symbol of deception, tribulation, and the ultimate test of faith. His story is not just a tale of doom, but a profound lesson on the trials that believers must endure to prove their steadfastness. Often compared to the Antichrist in Christian theology, the Dajjal represents a formidable challenge to believers as they navigate the tumultuous path toward final judgment. This comparison highlights the universal nature of the struggle against falsehood and the quest for truth that transcends religious boundaries. His arrival heralds a period of immense suffering and upheaval, a time when the very foundations of faith are shaken. This era of tribulation is depicted in various religious texts as a time of great trials, where the true nature of one's faith is tested to its limits. Understanding the origins, characteristics, and significance of the Dajjal, therefore, becomes crucial for comprehending the broader eschatological landscape that shapes the beliefs of millions. By studying these aspects, we gain insight into the fears and hopes that have driven human societies throughout history. This exploration delves into the multifaceted nature of the Dajjal, examining his depiction across major religions, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Each tradition offers a unique perspective on this enigmatic figure, enriching our understanding of his role in the grand narrative of the end times. By unraveling the threads of prophecy, symbolism, and theological interpretation, we can begin to grasp the profound impact this enigmatic figure has had on religious thought and human history. These elements combine to create a complex and compelling portrait of the Dajjal, one that continues to inspire and challenge believers. Ultimately, the story of the Dajjal transcends the boundaries of any single faith, offering a timeless meditation on the battle between good and evil, truth and deception, that continues to resonate deeply within the human experience. This narrative serves as a reminder of the enduring power of faith and the eternal struggle to uphold truth in the face of overwhelming adversity.
In Islamic eschatology, the Dajjal occupies a central position as a major sign of the impending day of judgment. His emergence is considered one of the most significant events that will precede the end times, marking a period of great turmoil and testing for humanity. His very name, derived from the Arabic word Dajjal, meaning to deceive or to cover up, encapsulates his defining characteristic, the ability to lead people astray through trickery and illusion. This deception is not just limited to simple lies, but extends to grand illusions that can manipulate the very perception of reality. Islamic tradition depicts him as a one-eyed man, often blind in his right eye, with his remaining eye described as bulging and protruding like a grape. This distinct physical feature is meant to serve as a clear sign to believers, warning them of his true nature. Numerous hadiths, sayings attributed to the Prophet Muhammad, provide detailed accounts of the Dajjal's appearance, powers, and actions. These narrations serve as a guide for Muslims to recognize and understand the threat posed by the Dajjal. He is said to possess supernatural abilities, including the power to control weather, raise the dead, and create illusions of paradise and hellfire. These powers are meant to test the faith of individuals, challenging their belief in the unseen and the divine. These abilities, however, are ultimately tools of deception, designed to lure humanity away from the worship of Allah and into following his own false claims of divinity. The Dajjal's ultimate goal is to lead people away from the path of righteousness and into a state of spiritual ruin. The Dajjal's reign of terror is predicted to last for 40 days, although some interpretations suggest a symbolic rather than literal duration. This period is characterized by widespread chaos and moral decay, as the Dajjal exploits human weaknesses and desires. During this time, he will traverse the earth, spreading chaos and discord, tempting people with promises of worldly pleasures and material wealth. His ability to offer such temptations is a test of one's faith and resilience against materialistic desires. It is a period of intense trial and tribulation, testing the faith of even the most devout believers. The Dajjal's influence will be so pervasive that only those with the strongest faith and conviction will be able to resist his allure. The Prophet Muhammad is said to have warned his followers extensively about the dangers posed by the Dajjal, urging them to seek refuge in Allah and to arm themselves with knowledge and prayer as their shields against his deception. He emphasized the importance of staying steadfast in faith and being vigilant against the Dajjal's tricks. In addition to individual efforts, the Prophet also highlighted the importance of community unity and support. Believers are encouraged to come together, support one another, and strengthen their collective faith to withstand the trials brought by the Dajjal. Ultimately, Islamic tradition holds that the Dajjal will be defeated and truth and justice will prevail. This victory serves as a reminder of the ultimate triumph of good over evil and the importance of maintaining faith in the face of adversity.
The concept of a deceitful figure who emerges in the end times, challenging the faithful and ushering in a period of unprecedented turmoil, finds resonance in Christian tradition as well. This figure is often seen as a harbinger of chaos, a catalyst for the final showdown between good and evil. The anticipation of such a figure has been a source of both fear and fascination for believers throughout the centuries. The Antichrist, as described in the Book of Revelation and other New Testament passages, shares striking similarities with the Islamic Dajjal, both in terms of their deceptive nature and their eschatological roles. Both figures are portrayed as ultimate deceivers, leading many astray with their false promises and miraculous feats. This parallel highlights a common thread in Abrahamic religions, emphasizing the universal struggle against deception and falsehood. The term Antichrist, while appearing explicitly only in the epistles of John, has come to encompass a range of biblical figures and concepts associated with opposition to Christ and his teachings. These writings warn of many antichrists, individuals who deny the divinity of Jesus and work against the spread of his message. This broader interpretation suggests that the spirit of the Antichrist can manifest in various forms and individuals throughout history. The Book of Revelation, in particular, paints a vivid portrait of the Antichrist as a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, wielding immense political and religious power. This imagery is rich with symbolism, representing the multifaceted nature of evil and its pervasive influence in the world. The beast's dominion is marked by tyranny and blasphemy, challenging the sovereignty of God and the faith of believers. He is depicted as a master of deception, performing false miracles, and leading people astray from the true God. These false miracles are designed to mimic the divine, creating confusion and doubt among the faithful. The Antichrist's ability to deceive is a testament to the cunning and insidious nature of evil, which often masquerades as good to achieve its ends. Christian interpretations of the Antichrist vary, with some viewing him as a specific individual who will arise in the end times, while others see him as a symbol of the broader forces of evil that oppose God's plan for humanity. This duality in interpretation allows for a nuanced understanding of the Antichrist's role, whether as a literal person or a metaphorical representation of evil. It underscores the ongoing battle between light and darkness, a central theme in Christian eschatology. Regardless of the specific interpretation, the Antichrist's arrival is generally understood as a sign of the approaching apocalypse, a time of great tribulation and judgment. This period is characterized by widespread suffering and upheaval, testing the faith and resilience of believers. The ultimate defeat of the Antichrist is seen as a prelude to the establishment of God's kingdom, a time of peace and righteousness that follows the final judgment.
While Judaism lacks a single clearly defined figure directly comparable to the Dajjal or the Antichrist, the concept of false messiahs and deceivers who emerge in the end times is not unfamiliar. Jewish eschatology is deeply intertwined with the anticipation of the Messiah, a divinely appointed leader who will usher in an era of peace, justice, and spiritual redemption for the Jewish people and the world. This messianic expectation has, throughout history, made the Jewish people particularly vulnerable to false messiahs, individuals who claim to possess the qualities and fulfill the prophecies associated with the true Messiah. These figures often emerge during periods of great social, political, or religious upheaval, exploiting the anxieties and hopes of the people for their own gain. Jewish tradition recognizes the danger posed by such false messiahs, emphasizing the importance of discernment and critical examination of any individual claiming to be the Messiah. The Talmud, a central text of Jewish law and tradition, warns against being swayed by miracles or supernatural feats alone, stressing the importance of evaluating the moral character and adherence to Torah of anyone claiming messianic status.